What's going on, YouTube? What's up, guys? How you guys doing today, man? I'm Darren the Bowtie Fragrance Guy, and I talk about fashion and fragrance on this channel, mostly fragrance, but I do get into some fashion stuff as well. But if you're interested in that stuff, hit subscribe if you don't mind, and make sure that you enable notifications by hitting the bell icon and select the word all. That way, when I upload new content, you'll get notified. On today's video, guys, I'm going to be covering a topic that I really enjoy, the category of gourmand fragrances. Now, gourmand fragrances are fragrances that have notes that are quote-unquote edible. Now, obviously, you can't really eat or drink this stuff, but they have notes in them that are considered to be more edible notes. You have things like cacao or chocolate or caramel, cinnamon, vanilla, fragrances that have a nice ambery tone to them as well. Are usually some of the notes that you're going to find in a nice gourmand fragrance. I actually love the note of honey as well. That's another note that just popped into my mind, that a lot of the gourmand fragrances that I really enjoy actually contain the note of honey. So we're going to get into it today. Gourmand fragrances. If you love gourmands, you're going to love this list. Of course, you guys know how I do. If you want to see what's on the list, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here.
Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. I actually have 10 or so fragrances on the list, so we're going to jump right into it. Guys, you know, of course, fragrances from the brand Navitus, I like to at least mention them. And I have two, obviously, I think are amazing gourmands. One, of course, was my collaboration with Navitus, which was Divine Aphrodisiac. And one, the more latest release with that was done in combination or collaboration more so with Stephen from Red Essence, is called Raised Spirits. Guys, both of these are really amazing standout gourmand scents, and I did want to at least mention these fragrances again. You guys know how I operate. I don't necessarily put Navitus fragrances on lists per se because of the perceived bias, obviously, but I do have to mention that these are two amazing gourmand fragrances from the brand. Of course, obviously, my fragrance, Divine Aphrodisiac, has that now what has become an infamous note of peanut. There's a peanut butter accord in this fragrance. Again, sweetness, praline. Praline is another note you're gonna find in a lot of gourmand fragrances that give this really almost synthetic, just cookie-like, candied cake-like sweetness to fragrances. So you have praline in here, you have some coffee. Again, the peanut butter accord, amazing gourmand fragrance. And then, of course, Stephen's fragrance with Navitus Raised Spirits is just a gourmand lover's dream. Again, I'd say just think about fragrances like Frappin 1270. Amazing gourmand fragrance right here. Guys, this stuff is just amazing, man. Some of the main notes in this one you're going to get, there's some like a brown sugar accord, there's caramel, there's a little bit of rum up top. Again, just an amazing gourmand fragrance that I really feel like you guys need to get your nose on this one and check it out. Again, so Raised Spirits and Divine Aphrodisiac from Navitus are two amazing standout gourmand fragrances. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, my God, is this thing good. One of the best gourmand fragrances is from the house called Milano Fragrance, which is one that not a lot of people are talking about right now, but they should. And this fragrance is called Panettone. Panettone, guys, and if you've ever had the actual dessert panettone, this smells exactly like the dessert. Listen, you're going to want to, if you spray it on yourself or you're going to want to bite yourself, other people are going to want to bite you. If you smell it on somebody else, you're going to want to bite them as well. Just an amazing scent. Baked, it's got this baked bread kind of feel to it. There's wheat in here. There's it doesn't say cinnamon, but it smells like cinnamon is in here. Oh, man. This is so good. You just got to smell this. Oh my gosh, guys, you gotta smell this. Amazing gourmand scent. This has to me, it smells like they have that sesame accord in there. Sesame usually gives that kind of baked bread smell to me, but this is an amazing fragrance, man. And I actually got this fragrance from Max Aroma. This fragrance was actually sent to me by Max Aroma, and guys, if you love gourmand fragrances, you gotta check this fragrance out. I want to make sure I link Max Aroma down in the description of the video, so if you want to head over there and check out any fragrances from Max Aroma, especially this one, guys, please do. If you like gourmand fragrances, you're going to absolutely love this fragrance. So head over to maxaroma.com, and please, guys, if you love gourmands, check this thing out. All right, guys, now another fragrance that I've gotten in my collection here recently is from the house of Hermes, from their more exclusive fragrance collection, and this is called Ombre Narguilé. Ombre Narguilé. Now, this particular fragrance is going to give you that apple pie vibe. I talk about that a lot, and as a matter of fact, I have a fragrance video that I'm going to do that covers other fragrances that kind of have that apple pie kind of thing going for it. And this one, I think this one kind of got it started. If I'm not mistaken, of all the other fragrances I have that have the similar kind of vibe to it, I think this fragrance actually came out first, if I'm not mistaken. But again, it's called Ombre Narguilé, and it has that apple cinnamon thing, and that's what you're going to find with a lot of these fragrances that have what people call that apple pie vibe. You're going to see an apple kind of note or some kind of fruity note in the fragrance with cinnamon usually. Cinnamon, honey, those kind of notes or chords usually create that apple pie vibe, and it's definitely present in this fragrance as well. You also have a hookah tobacco kind of accord in here as well, which is actually, you know, the name of the fragrance actually comes from that, which I'll get into at another time. But anyway, check this one out, guys. It's from the house of Hermes. Again, this one is called Ombre Narguilé. All right, guys, this next fragrance is really popular and a lot of people talk about it, but it is mouth-watering good. It's from the house of Christian Dior, and this is Fève Délicieuse. Fève Délicieuse, and I wear this fragrance a lot around this time of year when it gets cold outside. Amazing gourmand scent. This is jam-packed with just about any gourmand note that you can think of, primarily the note of praline, which is a note that I've talked about earlier in this video. So, oh man, this is just one of those ones you gotta get your nose on, man. Praline, you have tonka bean, you have vanilla, all the sweet gourmand notes are in this fragrance, and it's amazing. So check it out. It's from the house of Christian Dior. This is Fève Délicieuse. All right, guys, one of my favorite fragrances of all time, and I haven't talked about it a lot here recently, but I want to mention it on this fragrance, on this video, because it is one of my favorite gourmands, and this is Black Phantom from by Kilian. This is Black Phantom, and you guys, if you've, been following this channel for any amount of time, I've talked about this fragrance a lot. Sugar cane, it has rum, it has coffee in here as well. I always, when I talk about this fragrance, I say that this is my white chocolate mochaccino, which is my favorite drink from Starbucks, because that's just what it really reminds me of, man. It's creamy, it's sweet, it's sexy, and it's chocolatey. So I love all those things in my gourmand fragrances, and you know, if you do as well, this is one I think you should get your nose on. It's from the house of by Kilian, and again, this thing is called Black Phantom. All right, guys, this next fragrance is one of the best gourmand fragrances ever created, hands down. And this fragrance comes from the house of Xerjoff, and this is Italica. And I got the OG bottle. This is the one with the velvet on
it. This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
So, this fragrance actually has come down in price a little bit and is more accessible than it used to be. The presentation has changed, but it's still the same great fragrance. Really creamy fragrance. That's what this one's really all about, is creamy, man. You have this milky accord in here. You have some sandalwood, obviously, that helps contribute to it being a very creamy fragrance. You have toffee in this, as well as almond up top. Again, if you talk about fragrances that are really sweet and decadent, this is one that always comes to my mind as one of the best in class. Definitely a gourmand fragrance, and again, one of the best on the market still to this day from the house of Xerjoff. This is, of course, Italica. All right, guys, this next fragrance is actually one that reminds me a lot of Italica. I've talked about it a lot here recently, so I just want to mention it really quickly. From the Armani Privé collection, this is Ombre Eccentrico. Ombre Eccentrico, and this stuff is so good, man. Another one that kind of has this baked bread, kind of this raisin kind of accord to it. It reminds me of again, baked a bread pudding with raisins in it. This is an amazing scent. It's sweet, You have some dried fruits in here. You have some tonka bean and cinnamon. Again, notes for me that really make a great gourmand. So check it out. Again, from the House of Armani from the Privé collection. This is called Ombre Eccentrico. All right, guys, this next fragrance on the list smells like chocolate cake. That's the only way I can describe it. Is from the House of Parfum Aroma, and this is called Chorizo. This is called Chorizo, and again, the main note that you're gonna get here is chocolate. You have a chocolate accord in here. There's some kind of this citrusy orange thing going on with this. And this is a house, again, that I think doesn't really get enough attention. But if you're looking for a nice gourmand from the fragrances from this brand, this is one that I highly recommend you check out. Again, it smells like chocolate cake. Easiest way for me to describe it to you guys. I know you can't smell it through the camera. So check it out from the House of Parfum Aroma. This is Chorizo. Okay, guys, a classic gourmand that has made a comeback, and I have the OG presentation of it. This is from the House of Bond number 9. This is New Harlem. And simply put, this thing smells like pancakes and syrup. This is what it smells like. The primary note is actually lavender in this fragrance, but it's a really, really sweet, syrupy fragrance that actually has been re-released. This was on the shelf for a while, and it was really hard to get. And some people were paying an arm and a leg and giving away a kidney to be able to get this thing. But now you can get it. Has a new blue cap on it, but it's still the same thing from what I've been able to tell. So check it out from the House of Bond number 9. This is New Harlem. I would say this one actually smells a lot like Ombre Narguilé, because I think, of course, that one came out first. But another one that has the apple pie vibe, of course, from Parfums de Marly, we're talking about oajan. Oajan. This thing is loaded with gourmand notes. You have honey in here. You have cinnamon. You have tonka bean. This is so freaking good. From the House of Parfums de Marly, if you're looking for the gourmand fragrance, this is the one that you need to get your nose on, man. I'm telling you, it smells phenomenal. Now, compared to Ombre Narguilé, to me, this one performs a lot better. So, again, very similar DNA, but again, I get a little bit better performance on oajan. So check it out. Another great gourmand from the House of Parfums de Marly. This one is called oajan. All right, guys, and last but not least, another fragrance from a house that not a lot of people talk about, which is another one you can check out at Max Aroma. This one is called Eyes of Seven Hills, and it's from the House of Allure Parfums. This thing is amazing, and it is super unique. Now, it's not as gourmand as some of the other fragrances I mentioned on this list, but it does. I would kind of put it in that category. You get some vanilla here, you get some benzoin, some tobacco, but you also get a really nice dose, heavy dose of tonka bean. And that sweetness in this fragrance with the vanilla really, you know, kind of puts it in the gourmand kind of category. But again, this is a fragrance brand that I think a lot more people need to check out because they have some really good, unique fragrance offerings. So check this one out, guys. It comes from the House of Allure Parfums, and this one is called Eyes of Seven Hills. But that's it, guys. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this list today of some amazing gourmand fragrances that I have in my collection. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and attention to these videos. I know you guys don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks out there that you think could use this information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.